and the rest of the young people in the department, who all thought I was like the sergeant, you know, who told them what to do. But it was a good department, and I was there for 7.5 years. And at which point, Mac told me that he loved me, which I was a little shocked after 7.5 years. But we didn't do anything about it, and once in a while we'd have lunch together outside the university. By that time it was a university. And finally, he found his situation was at home was impossible and he couldn't take it. And so he left his wife and got a little apartment for himself. And I had not left my husband by then, but I couldn't take it anymore either. It was, you know, it was very hard. I had to support the family. And he worked, but he never sold anything. And so I really was the full support of the three of us. And eventually, I decided I really had to leave him. And of course, Dr. Mack was pushing me to leave him since he was alone then. So I did. And it was an interesting phenomenon. Dr. Bronco was president of the university then, and Mac was his vice president. And he knew Mac had left his wife. And a lot of people were very happy about that because there were problems with his wife. And so Dr. Bronk used to invite Mac to have dinner with him. And Mabel Bright, who was then Bronk's assistant, Bronk one night said, you know, it seems that Mac is reluctant to come and have dinner with me. And Mabel said to him, well, did it ever occur to you that he might have a date? So from that moment on, Dr. Bronk would invite both of us, which was an interesting phenomenon because what happened then, while there was a lot of gossip about Mac and me around the university before that, once Bronk accepted it, it was very hard for the other people not to accept it, so it was accepted. But then eventually we did get divorced and married each other. But then I had to leave my job because I couldn't really be in the position of telling the boys what to do. And so I tried getting jobs in other departments as a technician. And I got a call from Alec Byrne, who had been a professor here and had gone over to be head of the department in Cornell. And he called me up one day at home and he said, I hear you're looking for a job. I said, where did you hear that? He said, well, he looks through the applications and he saw it. And he said, why didn't you come to me? Because we were good friends. And I said, because I didn't want favors. I wanted to get a job on my own. Well, anyway, I did get the job. But what happened was I was working with one of the young postdocs who was working on staphylococci. And he was terrified of me because I was Mrs. McCarty, and Dr. McCarty was by then already known as the extra special strep man. And so he was sure I was reporting everything to Dr. McCarty, which of course I wasn't. But in addition to that, since Alec was new at New York Hospital, he didn't know all the people that well, but he knew me very well. So he would come and sit on my desk while I was pipetting and working, you know, and chat with me. And the poor boy that I was working for would come in, and he was the head of the department, sitting and chatting with his technician. So that was going no place. And I used to meet Mac and Marie Neiswander and Vince Dole in the faculty club after work. And when I told them, you know, I just couldn't take it anymore. This poor boy was so frightened of me, and I'm really not a frightening person. And so Marie kept saying, "Why don't you come and work for us?" And I said, "Because I wouldn't know an addict if I fell over one." She said, "That's good, that's just what we want." So I did, and I went over to the methadone program.